I would be the same way.
You talk with a waitress smoking outside a diner.
Something funny about her. Just showed up one day. Doesn't work, doesn't live anywhere far as I know. Just around. Myself, I'd love to know who made all her beautiful clothes.
Aw. I'm gonna approach her.
You ask the woman if you may join her at a public bench.
You may. Lovely outside, isn't it?
Her eyes are a beautiful shaded brown. Beneath the yellow ribbon, a thick, fibrous scar wraps around her throat.
Weather like this, it reminds me of Paris.
Oh. There's a reason why she wears the ribbon. I wonder if this was, like, based back.
Well, I'm gonna scroll my name on the bare bones of the earth.
So I know the yellow ribbon has a significance in military because my cousin's in the military. You tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree, and that gives you hope that he'll come back home someday. But when the old yellow ribbon is removed from the tree, either one of two things can happen. It's replaced by a white ribbon, or it's never replaced. The white ribbon signifies that he didn't come home. And that's why they tell you about the yellow ribbon. Either that, or she has something going on with herself while there's a thick fibrous scar that wraps around her throat. I'm hoping it's the first thing. It's the yellow ribbon that she's waiting for her loved one to come back from war. That's what I'm hoping. How are my Invisaligns? Okay, so I'm on my I'm on week 2 of it, so I'm on tray 2, and it's been annoying. So I've learned a lot of things. I've learned that I drool, and I'm not a drooler, so I've actually had to go back to the orthodontist because I had a attachment come out. So that was another thing that they've never told me. So it can happen. So we're just gonna go ahead and move on.
My vagrant song. This will be my tale. My vagrant
You can see storm clouds on the horizon, and you don't relish the thought of being caught wandering this rocky seaside road in the rain. Fortunately, you find the lighthouse door open with a daunting staircase before you.
I'm gonna climb up.
At the top of an ornate wrought iron spiral, you're breathless and feeling the strain on your knees. Rain already batters the walls outside. You can only knock on a heavy wooden door leading into the upper level. Muffled voices and light seep in beneath the door.
I myself wouldn't put an ear to the door, but my character wants to.
Looks like we got a visitor. Sounds like a man's voice, deep and rough.
Well, behave yourself. I'll open the door.
Another man, this one with a higher, more sonorous voice. I always behave myself. He feigns indignation, but his tone betrays affection instead.
They knew! They knew we were on the other side of that door. That's why I don't put my ear to any door. Oh my god.
After a moment, the door unlatches from the inside and opens. The man before you is tall and muscular, with a hint of a paunch beneath his wide chest. The heavy iron knob on the door looks nearly dainty in his huge hand.
Didn't want to be out in this rain, did you? Come in.
Yeah, that's why I was up next to the door, was because I didn't want to be in the rain. Right.
Despite the rough exterior, this room looks like a well-appointed parlor. There's a rug on the well-trod wooden floor and an enormously plush couch. And sat upon it is a stocky fellow grinning through a great hazel-colored beard. Tea? He offers, hoisting a teapot.
Well, I'm gonna cast my stones o'er the waters of this land, and by I'll see them far and long. 'Cause when the night come down,
I think I figured it out. I think I figured out how I can get all the... I'm gonna say, have you been here long?
A few years.
The tall one sits on the sofa, wrapping his arm casually around the other lighthouse keeper. 5, says the smaller, but by no means small, man.
That long? Time flies. We traveled together before that. You must have some good stories from the road, huh?
Yes! I love this guy. He's out here in the lighthouse with his man. I love him. Yes, boy.
You wake up the next morning on their old sofa, still warm from an excess of tea. And cakes? There might have been little cakes. Prodigious snoring rumbles in from the floor above you, and you quietly take your leave.
They had cake. Man, what I would do for a piece of cake. What I would do for a piece of cake right now. Oh, but I'm a skeleton. How can I be warm from an access of tea and cakes? I love that I told my story. I'm gonna move on, but I love him. Oh, dude. I love that. Yes.
A dusty truck and a man on horseback pull up next to one another in front of the grocer. Suddenly, the driver and the rider, two wiry old men with identical haircuts, start shrieking at one another.
Exactly. What in the world's going on, dude?
The man with the truck leaps into the street.
Brother!
He shouts. The one on the horse tumbles out of his saddle.
Brother!
He screams. They embrace in the road.
30 years!
Hollers the driver. The rider, tears streaming down over his face, corrects him.
No! 32!
Oh, they're reunited.
Everyone here is watching these two older men cry and hug one another in the middle of Main Street. Cars and wagons are backing up. People are yelling.
Take a photo of us!
The driver begs you. Starts hauling a tripod out of the bed of his truck.
He's backing up the cars and wagons. What do I do? Say cheese or get out of the road first. I'm gonna say cheese.
The long-lost brothers pose in front of traffic, cry snot pouring out of their noses. As angry passerby wave you out of the road, each brother presses a coin into your hand. When the traffic disperses, you realize they overpaid you quite a shocking amount.
Oh! I cry snot pouring out of their noses. Ah! I know I love that feeling though. But they paid me? Yes, I am the famous photographer. Dang it.
A few wanderers like you are looking for a place to camp.
We heard there's a Leatherman cave nearby.
They tell you. They describe a locally famous vagrant who hiked this area for almost 30 years.
He's dead now, but his caves are the best place to camp at any town.
That's me. I'm dead. Where is it?
You and the other wanderers find the cave easily, because someone's lit a fire there. As you approach, you see a silhouette bend over the flames with an odd creaking sound, like a door swinging in the wind.
Who's there?
His coat is crudely stitched from leather plates that squeak against each other.
The Leatherman.
One of the others whispers.
A ghost.
The Leatherman must have heard, but he just stares. His face is corpse still.
Who's the Leatherman? I'm gonna say, of course he's not a ghost.
He's eating, you say, and point out his can of beans.
Je ne suis pas un fantôme,
The Leatherman says, and adds,
idiot. Oh,
bursts your companion.
Canadien.
Soon, he and the Leatherman are deep in conversation, and your group has a safe place to rest.
A je ne sais quoi. Canadian. Idiot. I ain't no idiot. I Canadian. No. Oh, I got 2 of those. Oh, my. Oh, my.
By nightfall, the hospitality of this sleepy hamlet, combined with their superstitious tales, has both overstuffed your stomach and filled you with a hollow dread. Folks say these woods are full of apparitions, witches, and worse. You curse yourself for getting on the road so late.
Okay.
In the moonlight, every valley and hollow at the feet of the Tappan Zee seems like a stolen shred of the abyss itself. Fireside tales seem less fanciful, and every cackling crow and moaning whippoorwill seems like a demon perched on the shivering, spindly trees.
What is a whippoorwill? I've never heard of that. See what that is. So North or Central American nightjar with a distinctive call, which is a bird. And the loud call, which sounds like its own name. I've never seen any of them. Okay.
But something cuts through the noise. The muffled sound of hooves galloping on the cold, muddy road. When he finally slows his horse alongside you, it's as though he had just appeared out of the mist.
I'm gonna take a look at it.
He's astride a gigantic black courser, and though his boots are muddy and ragged, he wears an immaculate coat with great shining buttons. From his saddle hangs an antiquated flintlock and a cavalry saber. In the darkness, you can hardly see above his towering shoulders.
I'm gonna say hello to the rider.
His voice is a rumbling croak, deep, but as though his throat is filled with thorns. Have you happened upon a cannonball around here? You can tell English isn't his first language. German is. His hand, so pale it's almost blue in the moonlight, grips the reins in a fist.
Hey, I'm learning German. Guten Tag. Run away! Or sorry I haven't. I ain't gonna run away from him.
You mumble an apology and watch as he silently rides away, back into the mist. He's cloaked in black, you notice from behind, but the blood running down over his shoulders glints crimson in the moonlight.
And my trains run out of track. I won't be no one else to dig my Well, I got no companion except the wind and the sea. And when I'm gone empty,
Okay. It says I'm tired.
the ones who'll bury me. I'm gonna cast my stones o'er the waters of this land, and by and by I'll see them far and long. 'Cause when the night come down for to take me hand in hand, this will
As you walk along the river near an unfinished bridge, a man with a tool belt catches sight of you. Hey, over there, he calls out. You look like you could use a quick way to get some hard-earned money. Hard-earned is right. The bridge hangs high over a perilous drop.
Is it safe or do I just... Yeah. I mean... I'm a skeleton. Does it matter if it's safe or not? Yeah.
Great. He exclaims. Suppose you'll want a safety belt. We Thunderbird people don't need 'em. We fly when we fall. He chuckles.
Yeah.
You find yourself up high, looking over the rushing river that crashes around the foundation of the bridge. As you work side by side, the man mentions, "You can see Thunderbirds up here if you know how to look." You ask him to explain. Practice your peripheral vision, if you dare. Last thing you need up here is for them to see you seeing them and come swooping at you, he says laughingly.
Okay.
You only see the clouds thicken, It sure does pass the time working. The man pays you well when you're done with the job.
On my weary back, I'm gonna keep that stripes tucked in my soul. 'Cause when my coals burn low and my trains run out of track, I won't be no one else to dig my hole. I got no companion.
Clouds roll together to fill the sky.
I'm gonna watch it.
The lightning is so strong that it seems to open a path in the haze above you. You are sure you see massive talons curved around the clouds. The thunder is so immense that the ground trembles. Your lips and hands tingle from the electric charge that fills the air until the dancing lightning passes on over the
Cast my stones o'er the waters of this land, and by I'll see them far and long. 'Cause when the night come down for to take me hand in hand, this will be my tale, my vagrant song.
Yeah, so I'm heading back to where I was. No! I want more, stories. Because I don't have very many. I just got the Letterman. I got the Bridge People. The Seagulls. The boy who ran away from his father. And the two brothers who reunited. And then the storm. And the woman. The two lighthouse keepers that love each other. The women that were arrested for bootlegging in Maine. And the rider in the woods. Oh, I don't like that. That looks like Slender Man. I ain't playing that.
Muddling through the dark, you stumble into the path of the white deer. Its beauty strikes you at once. It is something otherworldly, beyond borders, a moon swimming in the void. Human shouts not far away break the spell. The deer's ears prick up. This thing is being hunted.
I'm gonna help it.
You know a way out of here. As the hunter's cries get louder, you approach the deer carefully, palms outstretched. As you grow close, your features become clearer in the